Hello, welcome to another episode of your show, Personality Guest of the Week. My name is Eniola Adesugba. Today I have another personality on this show, a man I respect so much, distinguished legislator of impeccable character and sterling qualities. He is a two-term honorable in the House of Representatives, chairman, Electoral Matters. He is an honorable representing the good people of Ibeju-Lekki Federal Constituency of Lagos State. Please do join me as I welcome on the show today in no other person than Honorable Adebayo Olusegun Balogun.
My name is Honorable Prince Bayo Balogun, member representing Ibeju-Lekki Federal Constituency, a region of Lagos, former chairman of the local government. I started as secretary to the local government in 1999. In 2004, I became chairman of the local government up to 2011. And thereafter, in 2012, I became member of the Assembly Service Commission. And there I was till 2019, before coming to the National Assembly. And this is my second term as a federal legislator. Yeah, I grew up in Lagos generally. I was born on Igbosere Road on Lagos Island. Went to Methodist Boys High School, University of Lagos, and did some master's in LASU. So my life has been in Lagos. I can tell you for free, I've never spent 2 months out of Lagos at any go. Maybe I've traveled out of Nigeria and I'll stay 2 months out of Lagos. It's like, I beg me colony. And that's been my life from beginning. Like a public servant, you follow where you find yourself. It's not just about what you feel like doing. Like I said, before I became secretary to the local government, I am someone so passionate about my local government. And while I was having one of my master's program in LASU then, and then I was also a civil servant. I was a planning officer in the Lagos State Agricultural Development Project then, they call it ADP. And I founded the National Association of Ibeju-Lekki students to encourage indigenes of Ibeju-Lekki to get education, try to let them get into the universities. And through the help of the then registrar, late, I was able to influence the admission of many of our indigenes into LASU way back then. So in 1999, when I got appointed as a secretary to the local government by the then chairman, Dr. Tola Kasali, I also influenced the appointment or employment of over 250 indigenous of Ibeju-Lekki into the state service. So then, because what I used to tell my chairman then is that there's nothing much you can do for the older generation, but there's so much we can do for the younger ones. And he used to encourage me to mobilize them, and he was able to send a list to the then governor, Adesugba, who approved the total number, and we're able to get them into the service. And most of them are now directors in the state service. It passes through. We have the longest Atlantic front in Lagos. We have 64 kilometers of beach front. So it's passing through the whole 64 kilometers from Etiosa down to Ondo boundary. So it's passing through Ibejuleki. Ibejuleki is where you have the longest stretch of the coastal road in Lagos. So, and that means it has opened up the whole area. So taking advantage of it is another ball game entirely. How are we going to position ourselves to take advantage of the development and the economy that is going to bring? So these are the areas that we must also work to ensure that we position ourselves, because it has opened the area to the world. Ibejuleki today is one of the biggest economy for Nigeria. It has the free trade zone. It has the deep sea port. The deep sea port alone now, within the 3 years of its operation, is already generating an average of 370 billion naira for Nigeria in the area of custom duties. Then we have the refinery, Dangote refinery, that is also producing to serve the economy, and the other companies within the free trade zones are there. And very soon the airports will also come up within Ibejuleki. Ibejuleki is about a quarter of the total land mass of Lagos. So and all the major industries are moving into that area. So, and these are all because of these road networks coming into the area. My position as the chairman of the Electoral Committee on Electoral Matters, it has even put me into an advantage position when it comes to the area of bills now, because we are doing a serious reform in our electoral process. So we have the bill we're looking at the defection. When you talk about defection within the parties, so there's a bill to ensure that members resign from their political parties before coming to notify the House. Because what we have, just like what is happening in Rivers, for example, the issue of if the members have resigned or not resigned. So when you come to the floor of the House is not a platform for resignation from your party. It's not the political party. It's just supposed to be for the notification of your resignation. So you are supposed to have resigned from your party, and you present the copy of the acknowledgement on the floor of the House that I have resigned from my party. Because our target in the 10th Assembly, as directed by Right Honorable Tajudeen Abbas, the Speaker of the House of Reps, is that we must give Nigerians an electoral act that will ensure free, fair, credible, and inclusive electoral process. So, and in doing that, there are a lot of amendments to the law. If you look at the issue of inclusion, the women, we have although that's not personally by me, but we look at the committee work now. We ensure that we are giving the women, the gender, at least one slot. The women are going to have at least one slot per state when it comes to the House of Reps. Yes, so we've been able to pass that at the first during the second reading, and this area that we said at least we are including the women. And on my own part at our as of reps too, we electoral matters issues, we've been able to also ensure that in the bill that also passed, one of the bill is also talking about inclusion of correctional centers, inmates of the correctional centers, to ensure that they are also included in the voting process, because at now people in the correctional centers are not allowed to vote, so they will be allowed to vote. Also, people on essential assignments, so we want to ensure that there's early voting. Early voting, yes, just like you, to the media and every one of you. So there will be opportunity for early voting, maybe a week or two before the date of the general election. They will be able to vote. So there will be special centers where they will register and they will be able to vote. We are also looking at, there's a bill also to remove the compulsory use of PVC for the election, because what we are using now is the beavers. It's not the card reader. Where the chip in the card will be read by the card. So today the card does not really have any value. If you know your number, just know your number, just tell them when they punch it on the beavers, your information pop up, and then you do your biometrics to match with the information, and so you don't really need it again. So we're looking at actually removing that. Also, there is also a bill to also bring back the statutory delegates into the primaries of all the political parties. During the last election, we had an issue where all the delegates were expunged from the from Section 84 of the Electoral Act, which empowers such delegates to vote during primaries. It was removed, but now it has been replaced. We are also pushing for amendments in the Constitution to limit the timeline of election process to INEC and the Electoral Act instead of referring to the Constitution. So we have made an amendment to Constitution so that when you want to reduce the time of the election or increase it, we don't need to refer to the Constitution. We just make the amendment in the Act, because it's easier to amend an Act, but you have to amend the Constitution. It goes through to the whole states. Yeah. So it makes it very difficult. But INEC can decide to say, okay, the election process, maybe the time given for the election and swearing in should be increased or reduced based on situation we find ourselves. Like what we are working on, for example, we are trying to ensure that all electoral litigations are concluded before the swearing in of the candidates. So in ensuring that we conclude all this litigation before the swearing in, we must be sure that the time given for the election, between the election and swearing in, should be enough to take all the litigations, the tribunal, the appeal, and the Supreme Court. And also there's also a bill to ensure that our NIN is incorporated into our PVC, voters register, so that will reduce all this duplication. Even on the INEC register, we believe there are so many duplication on the INEC register. So we are able to input your NIN in your voters register. That means it will eliminate all the duplications. I'm also embedded in the community, so I'm a prince, and the prince is not by name, his position is because I'm a prince of the community, and inshallah I'm the Olori Omoba of Ibeju land. So it is a community that I know, But apart from that, we have the leadership structure, we have the community leaders, the CDs, and I've also been the council chairman. So I know what we needed then and what we are doing now, and always in tune with in collaboration with the current chairman, the assembly members, the traditional rulers. So these are issues that we discuss regularly, and like I said, if we don't really plan ourselves, we might miss out even in the development that is coming along that area. So it's not just about even being here. Naturally, I'm concerned about my area. I said I founded the National Association of Vigilantes Students while even still doing my postgraduate program. So I'm so always passionate about my area. So if you tell me you need 20 graduates here now for different fields, I will just open my phone and submit their CVs right away to you. Any field that you want, I will just open my phone and just submit CVs that are there in any field. So that's who I am. So there's nothing so there's no project you want to talk about. If you give me 20 schools, I will tell you where to go and put them in Ibejuleke right away. If you give me 5 hospitals, maybe I'm able to get to the minister and they say, okay, give me name for 3 places you need hospital. I don't need, just give me 5 minutes, I will write them out for you. And when they take them there, they know, yes, this place really needs such hospitals. I told you earlier that if we are not careful, most of these projects that are coming to my voter constituency, if you don't really plan yourself, you lose out. And that's why Ibejuleke now, because of most of the projects that have come in, we are no longer what we used to be, but we are not yet where we're supposed to be. They call it in a state of between and betwixt. We are no longer the agrarian local government, the fishermen, the farmers. Most of the land have gone into industrialization and to so many usage. So we're no longer what we used to be. Yes, there are still farmers, there are still fishermen, but the numbers have actually reduced because all the farmland have been converted into other usage. But now, how are we going to fit into the next level? So there is still this serious talk with the youths now. Even when you're going to university, what kind of courses are you supposed to be taking? So we are encouraging them to ensure that if you are going to university, we have Dangote refinery, we have the DC port, so what are the courses relevant for these industries coming up in our area? How do we encourage them? So we ensure that we encourage them in areas of such knowledge to facilitate their knowledge of what is so relevant in the area. And in so doing, we give them JAM forms, and this assists them, give financial assistance at some intervals, and for the artisan too, because it's not just about degrees. All these industries will need labor. They will need artisans, welders, bricklayers. Ibejuleke is one of the fastest real estate in Nigeria today. That means there are opportunities for bricklayers, for painters, tilers, and some of these people are coming from the Republic of Benin. If you see tilers now coming from the Republic of Benin, how do we encourage our own people too? Because it's not just by suit, white collar job. Most successful Nigerians who make good money today didn't earn it by going to office. You must also be involved in all those sectors. So in collaboration with the Nigerian NDE, National Directorate of Employment, we've been able to train some of our artisans because they will give you certification. So with those certificates, you'll be able to work in some of these companies because they know that you've gone through such training, either as welder, and if you have a very good welder, especially those ones that do this underwater welding and also so there are so many people making big money in such areas. So if you're a tiler within that area, you know the number of houses that are coming up. So we are encouraging some of our youth to get involved in all this artisan job, and we're also giving them training in such area. I also provide empowerment where needed. If you have a salon, if you have a shop selling minerals, if you have we are selling minerals, you require a freezer and probably a generator. If you are a hairdresser, you need your equipment and generator. And these are a lot of people. I look at all these generators we have distributed within the past few years that have been in the house. We're talking in the neighborhood of 200-300 units. We're talking about deep freezers. Those two will also be talking in hundreds. And in other area of infrastructure too, yes, there are a lot of township road that we've been facilitating. The Electoral to Solo Alade road, we've done a bit of it, and I think this year we are planning to do another 1 kilometer of that road. And in area of schools, we're able to facilitate at least a 12 classroom block, 3 6 classroom block, 1 3 classroom block, and we'll be able to facilitate an health center at Elaborate, which we have put under Federal Medical Center as an annex of the Federal Medical Center, and it's performing wonderfully well because they have the capacity built by the federal government. Though it's an health center, but it's under the federal government Federal Medical Center, so that gives them opportunity to have skilled personnel, and it's in a very highly populated area. So, and when you come back, also in the area of school development too, we've just gotten another 12 classroom to be taken to Otolu area in Ibejuleki, and in area of the royal fathers too, we've been able to assist some of them. We've been able to give support, and at our market women, financial assistance in terms of grants and materials to them. And again, yes, we've just also concluded a market at Eleko that will be given to them about 40 lock-up shops. So that will be given to them free of charge to encourage the indigent traders. Another one is going to be built in our Oyaya area. I think it's going to start anytime from now. Yeah. And also in the area of electrification, we've been able to do a lot of solar street lights, because here we have problem of electricity in that area, especially the coastal area have been off grid for several years. So the only thing we can give them easily when it comes to electricity is solar. So we are going to be distributing so many solars, and this year too we are going to continue. So there are so many projects that we've been able to impact. And you know, when it comes to me, I look at the effect of anything I'm going to do. It's not just giving them, I must be able to measure the impact, how well it will help even before we do it. And even the farmers that we also gave inputs, fertilizers, agric inputs generally, by the time we supported them with it, and the federal government awarded contract for the supply of palliative. So those that were giving such contracts in my area, I have to talk to them to come and patronize the farmers that we empowered. So I can say that yes, all the gari that were distributed in Ibejuleki were produced by farmers within Ibejuleki. And that's, number one, you are sure of what you are eating. Number two, yes, you have been able to empower them, to make them to improve their production against the next season. And I'm sure if it's repeated this year, we are still going to do the same thing. So they must be able to feel the impact of the government, not just in supply of input, but also in patronage, to ensure that they're able to sustain their business. So these are part of the things we've been able to do. like I said, every politics is local. One, where I represent in Ibeju-Lekki, I want a legacy where anybody that is associated with me will be viewed with pride. Oh, you are a cousin of Principal Balogun, you are a friend of Principal Balogun, you are a brother of Principal Balogun, and they will be welcomed. They say, Eniola. Because politics is not when you are there. You are not. Don't bother if people praise you when you are still in office. It doesn't matter. It is when you are out of office that you know what you have actually done. People can do eye service that you are still there now. When you leave legacy that at the end of the day, even a blind person will feel your impact.
This is where we are going to draw the curtain for this week's episode of your show, Personality Guest of the Week. Special thanks to all our viewers and to all the guests that are featured on this show. And to my guest for today, Honorable Prince Adebayo Olusegun Balogun, Honorable representing the good people of Ibeju-Lekki Federal Constituency. Sir, thanks for coming on the show. Till I come your way again, my name still remains Eniola Adesugba. Like I do say, stay out of trouble. Nigeria shall be great again. Bye for now.